Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam, and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Skulls of Sedlek by Button Shy Games.
Skulls of Sedlek is a micro game, as are a lot of Button Shy games. And what I mean by that is it is a wallet game, just a few cards here that can fit inside this wallet holder sort of thing. And it is a simple set collection sort of game, but you are trying to build a pattern with the cards that you are drafting from the market. It's got a bit of a macabre theme to it. You are grave robbing. You are digging up some graves. Let me show you how it works down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer.
All right, here's Skulls of Sedlek on the table. Let me show you guys how this small card game works. You've got 18 cards here, and the setup is very simple. You're going to put them in 6 stacks of 3. So 3 cards in each stack here. And as you can see, one stack is going to have the top card flipped over. So let me show you what the cards look like. You've got 2 skulls on each card, one on top, one on bottom, and they're going to be of different types of people. The blue is going to be the priests. The purple is going to be for royalty. And you can see that there is a little line here to remind you of how each of these different types of skulls score points when you collect them. So that's it for setup. So how a turn works, it's very simple. You have one of 3 choices on your turn. The first can be to dig. And how that works is you're going to choose the top of 2 of the stacks that are not showing, and you're going to flip those cards over. So for instance, I could flip this card over and this card. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. And voila. And as you can see, we have more different types of skulls. So you have your criminals here, and you have your peasants here. You also have your romantics, the people that were in love. And so that's what you have there with the dig. Now, collecting is a different action that you can do, and that is simply taking a card that you can see. So maybe I take this card right here, and I hold it in my hand. Now, you can only ever hold at maximum 2 cards. So if you already have 2 cards in your hand, you cannot dig. You have to do the next action, which is to collect. And in order to do that, I'm going to clear off all of these cards, actually. And this open area would be in front of every player because you are going to be making a mini pyramid using these cards. And so when I collect, I take a card and I place it on the bottom of my pyramid, and it can be anywhere in the bottom level of my pyramid. So I could put this right in the middle. And where I put it matters because it pertains to the scoring regimen for each of the different types of skulls. As you can see here, the criminal gives me 2 points if it's adjacent to a priest. Priests are the blue ones. So I want to make sure that I try to get this skull on the top half of this card adjacent in some manner to the bottom half of this card, which obviously would not work if I put the cards like so, because even though the cards are adjacent, the skulls themselves are not. So I would have to work this out to where I can get this skull on top of the priest. And the only way to do that is to have 2 cards below it. And this would actually work out pretty nice because I have 2 criminals right underneath the priest. And thematically, that makes sense. The criminals want redemption for their souls, so they want to try to be next to the priests. Some of the other ways the cards score, you can see here for royalty, it's 1 point per royal or peasant below them in the pyramid because they are on top of the hierarchy and they want those lowly peasants below them, beneath them. Peasants just give you straight points, 1 point. The romantics here, they want to be paired up with other romantics. So you need to try to get another romantic out there on the playing field or in your pyramid. And so anyhow, you are going to be building your pyramid, drafting those cards out of the graveyard strategically so that you get them lined up well in your pyramid. And this will continue until somebody completes their pyramid, and a completed pyramid is going to look something like this. You'll have cards like that. There you go. And there, my pyramid is completed, and you would score the points for what you have here. And anyhow, that's how this game is going to work. Whoever has the most points is going to be the winner. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on the Skulls of Sedlek.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on the Skulls of Sedlek from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, first of all, what do you think about these wallet games that Button Shy is so well known for?
I think it's just impressive that there even is a game. Like we've have, you know, card decks are one thing, but this is, you know, barely even a card deck.
Right.
So it's just amazing that there's enough in here to make a game, but there is.
Yeah, right. And I really love the innovativeness of micro games, and that you can, like Sam's talking about, you can have a full game experience with just a set of 18 cards.
Yeah.
And it's a cool, full experience. So that is something to be, given props to, for the fact that it comes like that. So, but let's talk about what this gameplay experience was like. So this is your standard drafting kind of game, where you are taking the cards you're drafting and you're kind of building a tableau of sorts, and you need them to be in a certain arrangement. Yeah. We've seen other games like that, but what was this game like for you?
I mean, it was very easy to understand. It's very straightforward and quick, and I think that it's a good one, definitely for non-gamers. I don't know if gamers would get quite enough out of it, but I do think there's enough strategy in it that it's not just straight boring for a gamer. Okay. I just think it depends on what that gamer is looking for. But I think it is a really good little travel game to play with, maybe with a group of people that you don't know who's a gamer or non-gamer.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. I think it's a fantastic travel game. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space.
It takes up no space.
I mean, it takes up no space to pack or put on your shelf or throw in your bag or whatever you're doing there. But it doesn't take up a lot of space on the table either. And so this is a really compact game. But to what Sam is talking about there, me being a gamer, playing this kind of game, if I know that this is the experience that I'm going to get out of this kind of game, I'm prepared for that. Yeah. I'm not expecting a home run experience. I'm expecting a micro game experience, and that's what you get here. And it's fun. It's a good all-around experience, a solid drafting game where the mechanics, the thing that I feel like that is one of the most remarkable things about this game is that the mechanics tie into the theme of the game, in that you have cards that are face down in stacks. You know what's on top because you've dug that far into the grave. You see what's there. Are you wanting to dig a little bit further to flip over the next card? You don't know what it is, so there's a little bit of a risk there. Yeah. Or maybe do I take my turn doing something else? That fits with the theme here of digging up graves and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I think that's a cool thing about this game. All right, let's get to our pros and cons. So Sam, this is a small little game, but I'm sure there's some pros, some good things that stick out for you. What sticks out in a good way?
I mean, it's just a straightforward game. It's easy to understand and play, and I think that's nice to have in such a small package as well. So I always think that's a pro for a lot of these little games.
Okay, all right. It's like we've already said, it's small and it's travel. It's good for taking on the road. You can throw in a bag. The rule set is really small and minimal. You can really do 3 things on your turn. So, I mean, it's not hard to explain this game and teach and set up and everything. So, really small, easygoing game with this one. What maybe doesn't work for you so great?
I mean, it's a one-trick pony. It is what it is. The game isn't going to change every time you play it. So, it could be one that you tire of more quickly than others. Okay.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Limited replayability with it. I will say what we experienced, or at least what I experienced in our games, that the last 2, maybe 3 turns, it sort of feels like you already know how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
What I noticed is that I could already kind of start to tell what Sam was going to be able to take on her turn and what I was going to be able to take on my turn, and it just sort of felt like a rote experience the last handful of turns. And that's a little bit of a downer because it doesn't have a bit of an exciting finish to it, which I would hope it would. But outside of that, the rest of the gameplay experience is pretty solid. Yeah. So, okay, let's get to our score. Scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. Where does Skulls of Sedlek come in for you?
I mean, I feel like you can't really put this game on the same scale as, you know, a big old board game.
Let's look at it like in card games, micro games, that sort of thing.
If we're going off of that, I think it's a solid game. I'd probably give it a 6.8.
Okay, I think that's fair. Yeah, I was going to say about a 6.6 for me. It's a game that I enjoy playing. I don't know that I'm going to be running to grab it off of the shelf first before some other games. But if I've got 15, 20 minutes, if I'm looking for something that I can take and play anywhere, this is a good, solid choice. So I think it's a good one. I don't know that it's great, but it's good.
Yeah.
So, well, there you have it. That's our thoughts on Skulls of Sedlek. It's from Button Shy Games. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think of this game.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.